Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says top analyst says Bitcoin surge could be the start of a massive rally. Here's how high Bitcoin may go. The last couple of days have been quite interesting in the cryptocurrency market. It appears that an enormous amount of energy has re-entered the space where a lot of people are now looking at and or believing or waiting to see if Bitcoin's price in the wider cryptocurrency market are going to continue going higher. It appears that at the time of me making this video, a lot of people are convinced that Bitcoin's price is on its way to around $30,000. This seems to be the general sentiment that I'm roughly seeing everywhere. Nearly all of the analysts believe $30,000 is in the cards, and then from there, the numbers that they're looking for to obtain extra support, an extra idea of if we are going to begin to skyrocket, is between $33,000 and $37,000 per Bitcoin. That seems to be the levels that I'm constantly seeing, where people are talking about, if we hit those numbers, then Bitcoin is going to start trying to go to its previous all-time high. When it says, here's how high Bitcoin may go, it is between $33,000 and $37,000 that we are now looking for. It says Bitcoin taking out 20,000 US dollars puts Solana, Polygon, XRP on the cusp of huge price explosions. Bitcoin a couple of hours ago actually passed by $21,000. There has been a slight pullback in price, as is to be expected. People do take light profits, or people who are, the larger whales look to retest the other numbers to see if we can continue moving a lot higher. Solana, I believe, has gone up. Is it like 60 or 70% over the course of the last couple of days? Polygon is also quite strong, and XRP is basically because a lot of people are looking into when the lawsuit might end. It is a common trend. You've heard me say it before. This is not the first time and will not be the last. XRP is constantly in the price news. I've seen predictions anywhere from $2 to $4 when the lawsuit is over that XRP will immediately begin to jump. Other altcoins will do the exact same thing, and this is when we get the rapid bullish momentum, not only from Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also from the people from Ripple potentially winning their lawsuit. Plan B, one of the most popular people in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space, has announced that he believes that the Bitcoin price bottom is in. He says he believes it hit sometime around 15,500 appears to be as low as Bitcoin is going to go. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says he has set a timeline for a 4,689% price explosion. Yes, you heard that correctly. More than 4,600%. He thinks that we are on the cusp of Bitcoin moving anywhere between $30,000 to $35,000. He says we may roughly float around there until sometime in spring, where he's expecting Bitcoin's price to move between $30,000 to $50,000. He didn't give an actual number or exact timeline. It's more of a sometime towards the middle of this year. He's expecting a further movement up as we get closer to the halving, which is sometime in the beginning of 2024. For those of you who have not been here before, or this is your first full cycle, it appears as if I also saw one of the metrics as well. There's a fear and greed gauge. We were in extreme fear. At the beginning of this year, we were in fear, and now we are actually in neutral territory as we move towards Bitcoin's next halving. Historically, the year before we have Bitcoin's halving, we move up in price. We do not hit the previous all-time high normally, but we tend to move somewhere around there. That is giving us a $35, $40, $50, $60,000 Bitcoin. Plan B believes or estimates that once we have had the Bitcoin halving and move further into 2025, this is when he believes we are going to see the $100 and or close to $200,000 plus Bitcoin. A lot of analysts believe that we are out of the woods, and it was actual long woods, if I can say that. I know the phrase is a bit unorthodox, if you will. But normally we tend to have a 9-month period where prices are quite rocky for the cryptocurrency space. I believe we got up to 13 months this time. This is why you could feel the misery was relatively palpable in the air. It's because it lasted too long for people who've been in this market for a while. You knew that something was, what's going on, because normally we begin to move back up. But it appears that this is where we currently are. It says Bitcoin surge causes over $500 million in liquidations, the highest in 3 months. Cryptocurrency markets have regained the $1 trillion capitalization for the first time since November. So we are currently at the point where, and I don't know why this happens per se. I really honestly can't figure it out, or who's doing it. Usually what happens is tons of people begin to try and short Bitcoin. That is to say, they're betting against the price of Bitcoin and where Bitcoin can go. However, there seems to always be like celebratory tweets from higher up people in crypto or people who are trading crypto that they have liquidated people out of the market. It sounds like what it sounds like. Basically, the Bitcoin price goes up so high that anyone who was betting against it kind of gets washed out and, swept away from the cryptocurrency market. And one of the greater metrics that we have is that when we have so many liquidations of people who've been betting against the price of Bitcoin, this is usually a very good indication that anyone who's betting against Bitcoin will be burned. That's the nicest way of saying it. And as we have seen over $500 million in liquidations in just over the weekend, this historically means that people will stop betting against Bitcoin, because if you do so, then you tend to lose money. So everyone begins to get more bullish, more money gets pushed into the market as opposed to trying to short the market. Bada bing, bada boom. Peter Brandt has shared his super bullish outlook on Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure you know exactly where this is going. He says it appears that we are out of the woods. He thinks that the next stop is $25,000 to kind of give us a really good indication. If we hit that number within the next couple of days or weeks, Bitcoin is on its way back up. He gave no timeline for next year or the year after, but he is looking for a $40,000 to $50,000 Bitcoin once again by summer and or autumn. This tends to be the general outlook for a lot of people who are looking for where Bitcoin's price is going to be going over the course of this year. James Turk, it says it looks like Bitcoin survived the crypto winter. There are a lot of analysts on TV, CNBC, you name it, a lot of naysayers who were convinced. And I remember mentioning this a couple of months ago, that believed that Bitcoin was on its way back to $7,000, $8,000. You remember, because I was laughing and not chuckling. That's a bit too ridiculous. In the video asking, why was Bitcoin going to go so low? And as we have seen over the course of the last 10 days, more or less, this month is already halfway through the month. It's a little weird how quickly time is going. But a lot of analysts are saying that it appears that we are out of the woods based on the current price movements. Just optimism all around, if you kind of want to say that. It says Ethereum's price accelerates higher as bulls are aiming for $1,720 when Bitcoin a couple of hours went above $21,000. Ethereum was around $1,650. I believe that's where the price was. Apparently, the next resistance level is 1,720. There are a large number of people who believe that we are going to hit $2,000 before the end of this month, and I'm seeing a lot of chatter as to anywhere from $2,200 to a $3,000 Ethereum by March. March being the time frame that we have for the next major upgrade, that is going to be the Shanghai upgrade, where people are basically going to be able to put their money into and take their money out of the Ethereum ecosystem to be able to stake it. That's also around the same exact time that we are going to see a lot of news from prominent cryptocurrency exchanges for that we are now able to stake basically in general and also take our money out of the ecosystem as well. This is boding incredibly bullish for Ethereum. I think it would be rather odd if we did not hit above 3,000 plus over the course of the next, I dare say, even month and a half, as we keep getting indications that this upgrade is definitely going to be taking place in March as well. Analyst known for calling Bitcoin bottom price updates the outlook, says Ethereum, Aave, and one Ethereum rival are set to rally. Apparently, this is someone on Twitter who called Bitcoin's price going to $3,000 years ago, and then also called where it was going to go in 2020 as prices were falling because of Coco Roro. And now he says that he believes that if we see continued price movements upward, I forgot what the term is. It's kind of like a coiled snake, if you will. This is where they're looking at for a lot of other coins that say that they have a lot of basically pent up energy, and they're they're waiting to basically rally and strike the Ethereum rival, if you will. He is listing it as Avalanche, saying that Ethereum, Aave, and Avalanche are looking like they're about to do very strong price movements over the course of this week. Also in price news, it says stock market investors expecting smoother sailing ahead after a volatile year, and they have history on their side. It looks as if the news that we are getting from all over the place is that this year will not only be better, but that as we have, air quotes, gotten inflation under control, the Federal Reserve will not be as aggressive. Their rate hikes, if any, will not continue over the course of this year. And everyone, once again, I keep saying it over and over, everyone's looking for the March timeline. It is a perfect storm for economic prosperity, as we are expecting the Federal Reserve to stop issuing rate hikes around March, which is the same exact time for the Ethereum upgrade, and a lot of other people talking about on the Bitcoin charts that we should be hitting the $30,000 to $33,000 price mark. This week is also Davos. The global business elite will be gathering in the mountains of Davos, Switzerland this week for the World Economic Forum. They basically talk about all the happenings and the goings on of the world. This is usually the time, you've seen them before, they sit outside in ski outfits with people walking behind them, and there's always someone asking them questions, and it looks very candid, what have you, so on and so forth. They usually talk about their ideas for the economic year, and people listen to them. So if these people say that they're expecting really good things, or they're expecting recovery in the markets, or expecting the number of companies to do continuously well over the course of this year and next year, expect prices to rise. We are also looking for corporate earnings from Goldman Sachs, Netflix, Procter & Gamble, and American Airlines. Historically, or recently, over the last 3 to 4 months, whenever we hear that companies are doing better and the movements by the Federal Reserve have actually played out well, and therefore these companies are once again making money, people get optimistic, throw more money into the stock market. The stock market goes up. We do as well. Stock markets in the United States are closed for today in observation of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Also in, I guess, price news as well. You can also mix this into it. Bitcoin's mining difficulty has risen by 10%. We now have a new all-time high as people who are mining Bitcoin have returned. They were gone for a good month and a half, not that they all left, but the vast majority or a large portion of them did leave. If you remember what I've always been saying and how it actually works is, we can historically see, or usually always see, it's a price metric of how much it costs to mine a Bitcoin. If it costs $16,000 to mine one Bitcoin and Bitcoin's price is at $22,000, well, gosh darn it, turn on those machines so we can start making some money. If Bitcoin's price, however, is at $12,000 and it costs 16,000 to mine a Bitcoin, people began to unplug their machines. A new surge, a new all-time high, means that we are seeing more people on the network than ever before. It shows optimism. It shows that people believe, especially people who are mining Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is not only going to go higher, but it is going to be very profitable for anyone who is going to be buying and or mining up Bitcoin. It usually signals that these people are they're expecting to basically make more money, and this is why we see people buying Bitcoin, because the idea is if you buy Bitcoin at 20,000, you're expecting it to at least go to 25,000. If you buy it at 25,000, you're expecting it to go to 30,000, and then that's how money flows into the market, so on and so forth. So, a lot of optimism, a lot of movements in our markets, a lot of people looking to see where the rest of this week is going to take us. Markets are up, prices are in green, a lot of optimism all over the place. That's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. In the THEE most popular news story of the day, the anticipated launch of Shiba Inu's Layer 2 blockchain Shibarium beta is almost here, the platform announced on Monday. The official Twitter account of the Shibarium blockchain introduces some basic concepts to the Shiba Inu community about the launch before it launches. As a result, both Shiba Inu and the Bone token have skyrocketed in the last 24 hours. Shibarium Network, the official Twitter account for the Shibarium blockchain, in a tweet on the 16th of January, revealed that the preparation for the beta launch is almost complete. The Shiba Inu community will get the Shibarium soon. They said, introduction to Shibarium, Shiba Inu's Layer 2 network, rejoice. Hashtag Shib Army. Shibarium beta is about to be launched, and through this article, we want to introduce some basic concepts in order to provide clarity to the community. A lot of people are very, 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 very hyped about this. We've gone over this before in many different metrics. Shiba Inu is basically more popular than Dogecoin. The people from Dogecoin, it took them a couple of years to basically announce that they wanted to also make some kind of an ecosystem, none of which has actually been announced or even spoken about since around spring of last year. The basic idea is that as Shiba Inu got picked up, as Dogecoin got picked up by Elon Musk, they wanted to make more of a robust ecosystem and give it some type of upgrades, not often in the news. Shiba Inu, however, is in the news like 95 times a day. It's sometimes a little bit overwhelming. They're now getting ready to basically launch their Layer 2 solution, which is going to give them NFTs and smart contracts and anything else you can think of that has three-letter words. A lot of people are very excited about this. I know a lot of people who are accumulating large amounts of Shiba Inu and large amounts of Bone. I don't know if I also have it here. Is this it as well? I think, anyway, wait, somewhere around here. It says Shiba Inu becomes Ether Whale's largest holdings ahead of the Shibarium launch. I don't know if the number's somewhere in here. I don't know. Basically, over the last 2 or 3 days, multiple people, larger wallets, accumulated around 4 trillion Shiba Inu. That's not a fake number. The number is 4 trillion, right? A lot of people are extremely excited about this. People believe that this will basically be the meme coin of the market in just a couple of months. There was also some other type of news. If you watched a lot of the weekend videos, I usually cover more of the Shiba Inu burn news. Apparently, there's now an initiative to burn trillions of coins over the course of this year. It's got a lot of people very, very hyped. The idea being they're trying to accelerate the movement to 1 cent per Shiba Inu faster than ever before. Basically, if they can burn a huge amount of coins and have the initial coin burn also happening within the blockchain, and then you have the Layer 2 solution also launching, and then you have the NFTs and the smart contracts, which are also going to be burning Shiba Inu behind the scene, then basically you get to 1 cent before we actually even get to the historic bull run that we are currently looking at. It's a lot going on. It says Shib as Layer 2 blockchain, Shibarium gets ready for beta launch. Devs explain key concepts. Shiba Inu team introduces basic concepts of Shibarium. It is Very popular. It is the most popular news story of the day. Everyone who's into this ecosystem is talking about it. A lot of people believe that this is going to be a top 10 coin and basically remain there. At this point, with all the momentum, you have to understand, going over news daily in the cryptocurrency space is one thing. But when you see a pattern of over the last year and a half, this coin is in the news every single gosh darn day. You know, it kind of paints its own picture, if you will. That's all the Shiba Inu news. I know it's a lot, but what have you, that's just where we currently are in the cryptocurrency space. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, so for those of you who missed it, I think I already covered this. I'm not really 1,000% sure. There's always a quintillion things happening in the cryptocurrency space. Apparently, Hong Kong is trying to legalize crypto within the country. It appears as if they are trying to figure out exactly which coins are going to be legal within their space. I saw a number of other articles that were discussing how bullish this is for the Asian market. If you missed it, if you weren't here, if you didn't hear me talk about it the last 16 other times in the last 3.5 months, Asia controlled the cryptocurrency market between 2016 to mid-18, somewhere around there. And the belief is that, according to metrics now, that they might actually be able to do it again. Why? Because all of the Asian countries that had problems with the cryptocurrency space before, or were threatening to ban it, or did not like it, or were trying to get rid of it, they all have regulations now. The only one who's missing is Hong Kong. Everyone else, especially Japan and South Korea, who ruled the cryptocurrency market and controlled these two small places, South Korea and Japan, controlled the majority of the trading volume around the world. Looks like they're about to try and do it again, as they now have, legal rules as to what they can and cannot do. And Hong Kong said recently that there are over 2,000 coins that they were looking at, but they said there will be nowhere near that many. The guesstimate that I have is roughly around 20 different coins, which is around the same exact number that we saw from a number of other Southeast Asian countries over the course of the last couple of years. It's usually always the same. It's Bitcoin, Bcash, Ethereum, XRP, Lumens sometimes make the list. Litecoin, I don't know if I already said that. It's a lot of the legacy coins, Ethereum Classic as well, and some of the other coins that kind of hang relatively low next to them as well, like the hanging fruit from the tree. They're not the actual tree, but they're the derivatives from the coin, if you will. So if this actually ends up going through, or rather when it goes through, because we've had basically the Hong Kong officials have said it's going to happen. They're trying to figure out cryptocurrency regulations over the course of this year. Whatever those coins are, they're probably going to do extremely well, as always, in the markets. Also in the news, the CEO of the website Crypto has announced that they're going to be laying off more people. This news always ends up being popular in the cryptocurrency space. The chief executive officer of Crypto.com is announcing a cut to the firm's global workforce as the digital asset markets attempt to mount a recovery. In a new company blog post, the co-founder and CEO Chris Marszalek says that he is going to slash the firm's workforce by 20% due to unpredictable events within the industry, such as the collapse of FTX. If you know me, I have a very difficult time believing that everything is just because of FTX. A lot of people keep using this as their answer as to why they're doing anything, and it gets a bit old because everything is not Sam Bankman-Fried's fault. It's also usually the fault of the company, who made sure that they didn't save any money. He said, "Today we make the difficult decision to reduce our global workforce by approximately 20%. Several factors played into our decision to reduce the headcount. While we continue to perform well, growing to more than 70 million users worldwide, and maintaining a strong balance sheet, we've had to navigate ongoing economic headwinds and unforeseeable industry events." Usually for those of you who don't know how it actually works, companies usually fire people because they want their shareholders to actually make more money. The less workers that you have, it means more money that the company is going to save. The more money that the company is going to save, usually if they have gone public, then their stock also ends up going up as well. So this is another company in the long list of companies who have been doing the exact same thing, basically firing people and being like, oh no, Sam Bankman-Fried, why you make me do that? That's crazy. But we all know why they're doing it. It's just to make more money on the side, which is very sad because 20% of your workforce, especially for those of you, here's a kicker for those of you who don't know how it actually works. And nearly every other country around the world, when you get fired, there's like a severance pay. For those of you who don't know how it works in other parts of the world, I'm about to blow your mind. Usually the severance pay is for roughly around 3 months, 3 to 6 months in some different countries. Within the United States, your severance pay is for 2 weeks. That's right. Not even a full month. You get the goodbye without any warning. And then you're handed a piece of paper and it says, here's 2 weeks of your pay. Good luck out there. So this is just ruining a lot of lives, and I do sincerely hope that all these companies just get it together so they don't have to go through this again. The company is making more money, but the 20% of people, imagine if they had 10,000 people work. I have no idea how many people are working for them, but if they have 10,000 people, that's 2,000 people who are now without a job, and they get 2 weeks of severance pay. Doesn't sound too nice. That's the another layoff news. This news is always popular in the cryptocurrency space. I still haven't figured out why. Who knows? Let's move on. Also in the never-ending story news, Brett Harrison, the former president of FTX US, plans on spilling the beans on the exchange's operation soon. The former executive disclosed his intentions early on Monday when responding to a question on his knowledge of the firm by one of his followers. He said, we don't more recent tech, what? Oh, English. Why don't more recent tech startups do what Amazon did and go public very early? Relatedly, how do companies reconcile the desire to stay private for a long period of time while rushing into token issuance? This was his tweet. Someone said, what did you know about the FTX official US and when did you know it? And Harrison said, I'll share in time. Is the tweet here? No, it's not there. I thought the tweet was here. So maybe it's here. Wait for it. Nope, also not there. So the point is, cool. I think that nearly all of this right now is just people trying to get into the documentary because there's, I think, like 20 different things that are planned and supposed to be out there about Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX over the course of this year. And I think everyone's just trying to have like a soundbite or be in it in some sort of way. I find it very hard to believe. Now, hear me and hear me good. I find it very hard to believe that Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX were so evil and everyone knew that something was wrong, but no one said anything. Everyone got that? Right. So if you know something or knew something and you're telling people, I'll tell you in time, you're trying to make it into the documentary. You're trying to have something in Time magazine. You're trying to make it onto a major news publication so that they can actually pay you for it. Because you're basically admitting that you knew something was wrong. Right. You're basically saying, I knew that something was, and everyone's saying the exact same thing as well. We're going to move on from this. Don't worry. Everyone was saying the exact same thing that they, Sam Bankman-Fried, he was a very dark character. I knew that something was going on. Oh, really? So all of you knew and nobody said anything. Also, it says former FTX US president accuses Sam Bankman-Fried of gaslighting and manipulation. You should have left the company. If everyone was working with this demon and everyone knew that he was doing something wrong, I don't have it here, but someone else was talking about that. They knew since 2021 that Sam Bankman-Fried, Alameda, and someone else were allegedly laundering, what was it, like $6 billion to Alameda, and it was like so you admitted that you knew this, and you said nothing to any of the shareholders or normal people who had money in FTX. Okay. Anthony Scaramucci has announced that he is going to be investing in crypto firms founded by the former FTX US boss. For those of you who haven't been hearing the news, and this is why I keep thinking that is getting more and more suspicious, nearly every single company, hear me out here, nearly every single company that has collapsed due to the collapse of FTX was trying to be acquired by a number of rich people within the cryptocurrency space. But they couldn't because the valuations for these companies were way too high. Now that FTX has collapsed and everyone says that they had no idea what was going on, now they're all trying to acquire the companies that they couldn't acquire before because they were too expensive. No one else is seeing the pattern here. They all didn't want to pay $1 billion, but they're more than willing to pay $15 million after the collapse of the company that they all claim that they knew nothing was going wrong with. FTX has been cleared to sell Ledger X and other assets to repay their creditors. A couple of days ago, we got news that FTX apparently found around, I think it was $5 or $6 billion. Basically, they've been selling off assets to make back money to pay off people who are owed. That's kind of the general idea. And a lot of people were confused as to why, and it's just people have no brains. A lot of people were very confused as to why FTX was allowed to remake money. They're not remaking money. When you file for bankruptcy, you are allowed to sell old assets to make your money back to pay off the problems from your bankruptcy. That's just how it works. So FTX owned far more than I could have ever actually imagined, which is absolutely insane. That once again, wink, no one knew that anything wrong was happening. But cool. I give it by summertime, they should have made nearly $10 billion back and everyone should be able to get their money back. That just seems to be completely logical to me, at least at this point. Also in the news, Mark Cuban is prominently in the news today. Everyone's going gaga goo goo. Why? Because Mark Cuban has said, forget gold, invest in Bitcoin. There's a really weird wave of people repoking their heads back in the cryptocurrency space, announcing, forget the thing that I was talking about 2.5 weeks ago. That's now boring. You got to get into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is where all the money is. There are a lot of people who are gold traders and gold investors who are now also on Twitter talking about gold has been performing well over the last year. It hasn't. It simply has not. You can look at the chart. I'll give you 25 seconds. Pick up your phone and go look at the gold chart. Gold has been slipping sideways and or down over the course of 2022. It also did not do well. But now that Bitcoin's moving back up, they're all talking about getting back into the cryptocurrency space because now is the best time to make all the monies that you ever wanted to make over the course of your lifetime. If you hear the tone of my voice, it's for a very particular reason. It's basically because it's been less than 10 days. For those of you not looking at the screen, less than 10 days ago, it says Mark Cuban issued a looming implosion for Bitcoin in a crypto warning. Yup, that's right. He was talking about that Bitcoin was going back down to $9,000. He was talking about everyone should get out of the Bitcoin space. Bitcoin's going to have a meltdown. There's another cryptocurrency meltdown that is looming. It is going to be terrible. Everyone needs to leave the cryptocurrency market right now before it gets even worse. You understand why I don't listen to these people now? First of all, no one knows where the prices are going to go. Especially not Mark freaking Cuban. 9 days ago, he warned of a looming implosion, telling people to leave the cryptocurrency market. Saying there was going to be a meltdown of prices. And now he's telling you, forget about what I said. Now invest in Bitcoin. You see? This keeps happening over and over, and I keep telling all of you to stop following these people. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just as greedy as everyone else. They're just trying to move different markets. Anyway, that's the popular Mark Cuban news, because I'm pretty sure everyone, share this with your friends, because I'm pretty sure everyone forgot. A couple of days ago, he was telling everyone to leave because of the looming implosion to Bitcoin and crypto. Fascinating, the difference of 9 days. Amazing. Also in the news, it says India's central bank governor calls crypto basically a scam, and he's asking for a blanket ban once again. I don't understand why. How do I say this nicely so we can move on? I've noticed over the course of the last couple of years, whenever we have news about India, I have a number of friends who are from said place, and I ask them quite often, what is the corruption like in their country? Me, myself, never having been from that country or never having even visited it, I hear from people who've actually been there, and allegedly they tell me that the corruption is quite terrible. India has been one of the places where, instead of giving actual cryptocurrency regulations or even actually announcing only Bitcoin and Ether are legal here, because people are interested, so we want to make sure that they actually have some type of legal framework, they instead try to continuously terrorize and scare their own population by telling them that something is wrong. You may wonder why you would hear people from the banking sector announce that something is wrong with crypto. Well, think about it. It's the exact opposite of their market. You can't create new Bitcoin. You can't create new Ether out of thin air. You have to go through the actual protocol, and that's not how the old traditional financial system actually works. So when you talk about billionaires who want the old system to remain the way that it was, it's because that's how they made their money. It's basically as simple as that. I do not assume that a central banker of anywhere is going to be happy or proud that Bitcoin could potentially usurp them or basically cause them to lose money. So if you are planning on banning cryptocurrencies in India, please just do it. You have already experienced a massive brain drain as a result of you banning and doing other interesting practices over the course of the years. But this is since 2017. This is also quite popular news once again. So cool. Wonderful. If you're going to ban it, just ban it. If you're not, just give it regulations, because you people going back and forth, you're just manipulating yourselves and your communities, and I'm pretty sure your citizens are not going to be happy too much longer with you constantly lying to them. News. Moving along. Also in very popular news, I thought this one was actually very cool. Regardless of it being Tether, Tether has actually grown so much. Here's a little chart right here. Tether did more volume transaction-wise than Visa and MasterCard last year. Yeah, MasterCard did $7.7 trillion worth of volume. Visa did $14 trillion. In Tether alone, Tether did 18.2 trillion US dollars worth of volume. That is one blockchain, one coin. When I talk about the significance of Bitcoin doing trillions of dollars worth of transactions, that's basically it. We have found a way, and more so for Bitcoin, a decentralized way to transfer money around the world without the need of Visa, MasterCard, or world banks. It's incredible. And this is only, not to sound like a broken record, but this is only the beginning. It's more of a, where is crypto in 20 years? In 20 years, is Tether doing $182 trillion worth of transactions per year? Now you understand why Visa and MasterCard are so desperate to get into crypto. That's why every single time you hear that Visa's here, Visa's issuing this card, Visa's doing so-and-so, Visa really believes in Bitcoin. Visa's going to be using Ethereum. For those of you who missed that, yes, Visa's going to be using Ethereum as well. Now you understand why. Just from this one infographic, Tether alone did 18 trillion, Visa did 14 trillion, and MasterCard did 7. Also, how much lower is MoneyGram in Western Union? This is just Tether. It's quite fascinating, and it's only going to get bigger. That's the Tether news. Moving along. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Martin Steuer, Buddy McButtface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on, Empire Queen, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave the Dealer, Zen Captain, Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Mobarazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Corded, Biddy, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Patrick Noster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal, Rita, Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who has left a comment. They help a lot. Who has left a like, they help a lot. Everyone who has subscribed, that also helps a lot as well. There's a new Money Rules video coming today. Thank you all for helping and supporting that channel as well. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $20,844. There's the movement up to 21,000. There's the movement down. There's always a little correction as people begin to retest prices. Ethereum is up by 1%. Everything is roughly up by 1 to 3%, somewhere around there. Mainly in the green. Solana's up by 4%. Cardano is up by 2.26%. Matic is up by 3% as well. Anything crazy? Shiba Inu's up by 4.8%. Avalanche is up by 2%. Anything crazy? Ton Coin? I think this is from, what do you call it? From Telegram is up by 3%. Kronos is up by 8.7 percentile points as well. Quant is up by 8.5. Jeez Louise. Decentraland Mana is up by 22%. I'm glad I got it when it was like 40 something cents. Jeez Louise. Aave is up by 7%. Luna Classic is up by 1%. Sandbox is up by 10%. Okay, something must have happened with all the metaverse coins. Maybe there was some kind of metaverse news or something. Aptos, sounds like Zapdos, is up by 14%. Elron eGold is up by 3.2%. Wow. Huobi token is up by 6%. It has $100 of trading volume. That coin should not even be in the top 1,000 at this point. I do declare that I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. I hope your weekend was fantastic. I hope you're all having a great day. Hope everything is going peachy keen for all of you. Thank you all once again for, and I know someone just laughed when I said peachy keen. If you've never lived in the States and never watched a movie from the 1960s, Peachy Keen and the Bee's Knees, I thought those were the funniest thing as a kid. The Bee's Knees, and it is Peachy Keen. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.